It appears that Israel's diplomats may be trying to challenge the apartheid label by canvassing support amongst African Americans.
The major problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community. Black Lives Matter starts there. I had last week a dinner, sit-down dinner at my house for 40 people, which are considered the leadership of the black community. And it's very important people. They can be part of our doing an activity.
Pro-Israel groups are trying to cultivate a new generation of black leaders that is pro-Israel by bringing them to AIPAC conferences on all expenses paid trips, by taking them on delegations to Israel.
They're doing that because they're afraid of BDS and they're afraid of Black Lives Matter, which is this new struggle for black freedom that also sees black freedom as situated in a larger context. In 2014, Israel launched a siege of Gaza. In the same summer, police in Ferguson killed Mike Brown, and Ferguson rose up. And on the news at night, there would be both the latest out of Gaza and the latest out of Ferguson. There was solidarity that was expressed online with the Ferguson uprising. There were Palestinians who took to Twitter to cheer on the rebels of Ferguson and explain how to deal with tear gas.
Israel's diplomats have responded by evoking the legacy of Martin Luther King, claiming that the campaign for Palestinian civil rights bears no resemblance to the civil rights movement in America.
Dr. Clarence B. Jones, who wrote the draft speech for Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream. He was his lawyer, he was his close friend. He's somebody that I reached out to. He became a very close and personal friend. Because of that relationship, he published 3 articles at the Huffington Post explaining why their agenda was hijacked. Martin Luther King will turn in his grave if he saw the anti-Israel tendencies or policies that are starting to emerge within Black Lives Matter.
There's something on one hand laughable about it, but there's something also really insidious about this. You're using the credibility of a freedom struggle to try to oppose another freedom struggle. And I think that that's appalling.
Soon after Black Lives Matter declared support for BDS, a fundraiser at a New York nightclub was suddenly cancelled. The venue's management said it didn't approve of the movement's stance on Israel. Tony was told by his boss, Eric, that the Israel Project was behind the decision.
I don't know if you saw, but this club, ditched a Black Lives Matter event. One of our donors, we just put a call to him and we put in a call to the police.
Wow, to shut down this Black Lives Matter event. I think it's really appalling that a system in Israel has devised incredible and comprehensive ways to have a violent regime against Palestinians, that they would also invest resources into making sure to shore up support for that oppression here.
Could you give us your own evaluation of the African-American leadership in the United States, and what is their feeling about Israel? And because oftentimes I think locally, outside of New York, we find that there is become a greater identification, not with the history of Israel and what Israel's become, but with the sufferings of the Palestinians without any really understanding of the history of Israel. So could you comment on African-American leadership?
Well, blacks are always going to be, as Jews are, I think, always going to be some of the first to sign up to address the suffering of others. And we shouldn't be afraid of that within the black community, the Jewish community, whatever community. But when it comes to justice for Israel and understanding and suffering within context, we need to be more vigilant than we're being right now. Then for the black community, and I say this all the time, you asked specifically about black leadership. First of all, this excites me like never before, because Obama is a raindrop compared to the storm that's coming of young black leaders around this country who are phenomenally qualified, phenomenally experienced. You're going to see more black governors, you're going to see more black senators, you're going to see critical that you find, that you continue to find, not them when they're Congress people, you find those black leaders when they're 22-year-olds at Oxford, when they're 24-year-olds as a city council president, and you go to them then and say, come to Israel, let us start showing you what this is about. That's what a key mission of AIPAC that we must continue, which is finding future leaders, young leaders in America.
Let's see if TikTok lets the truth fly. So 89% of Congress are dual citizens with... Right, now, follow me along on this. If they're dual citizens with this, which if you look into the archives, you know, their own personal archives, look up this document right here, you'll find who owns that. You know, just like I was telling you. So if all of them are ran by them, and please don't try to exclude Trump from it, because I'm going to show you how he went through the loophole. Because indeed, in fact, he is also a part of it. Proof. So if all parties are involved in this, who the fuck are you voting for? And why are you voting for it instead of trying to get rid of the whole thing?
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 5, and it reads, "Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, Blessed be Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not." All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Rahakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners, and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, I say Shalom. All right, this is your brother Ayashar Barazar from the Indianapolis branch of the Great Millstone, coming back at you with another lesson that is edifying to the elect body of the nation of Israel. All right, this scripture here, going to be going into the three video clips that you just saw. Number one, you know, hey, Amalek is our enemy, point blank, period. You know, we know this. All right, and I'll go through scriptures to prove it. We know who Amalek is today. The people that, you know, run the government. Okay, people fighting over in the Holy Land right now. You know, pretty much doing a lot of things to those people over there that, you know, they did to us. You know, it's not our fight. Okay, not our fight whatsoever. But we do know that those same people not only financed the transatlantic slave trade, they own the ships. All right. And when Christopher Columbus came over here, we know that he has ties with them as well, going all the way back. But just a few disclaimers on the videos that you just saw before I, you know, go into this scripture. You know, again, GMS, Great Millstone, we do not support BLM. That was just Black Lives Matter. That was just part of the information within the video. I want to make that disclaimer because, number one, we know who funds it. We also know what its original intent was which was to inevitably to destroy the Israelite male on the coattails of feminism and the welfare system, which is also started by the same people that financed the transatlantic slave trade and owned the ships. All right, we know who that was. Okay. Number two, we're definitely not involved in the elections. Okay. And that's by commandment, according to Deuteronomy 17:15. Let me get that before I come back to that Zechariah 11:5. Deuteronomy 17:15. And it reads, Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom Yahweh thy power shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. And, you know, that's what Jake did with number 44, who is a Hamite by blood. And also with the current person that's, you know, on the Democratic side. Is not an Israelite. I mean, these people know who we are, and under no circumstances are they going to let a Jake or you know, a true Israelite assume that office, okay, or be a heartbeat away from it. It just doesn't work that way. This place is not our rest, according to Micah 2:10. All right, they will never allow that to happen. They know exactly who we are. You know, I did a video a while back, which included the clip of the interview Hidden Tyranny, which was done in 1976 and involved the interview between Charles White and Harry Wallace Rosenthal. Okay. According to that interview, the United States has not elected a president since 1932. Okay, so we know they're all selected, and you know, that's just the way it is. You know, and that's been proven. You know, 5 times in history, you've had a president lose the popular vote but still win the office, and that's happened twice in my lifetime. You know, Gore and Bush 43, and then when Bush 43 won, and then when Trump beat Hillary Clinton. All right. There's no other public election where, you know, you can overwhelmingly lose the popular vote and still win the office. You know, that's how you know the stuff is wrong. And then that whole delegate system is, you know, tied into Jake being 3/5 of a person. You know, that's why you have these swing states, you know, these delegates, you know, and Jake continues to participate. All right. And we know that the number of 44 and this current woman that's running, they are strangers. Okay. They are not our brethren. You know, you are the seed of your father, according to Numbers 1:18. Okay. Point blank, period. All right. Yet Jake is continually being disobedient and running out and sending them over them, and then can't understand why things are still going bad. You know, nothing has changed for Jake. It's not going to change for Jake. Once again, this place is not our rest, according to Micah 2:10. All right. Let me go back to that Zechariah. Okay. 11:5. All right. And that's the thing, you know, it says whose possessors slay them. And who are our possessors right now? You know, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, with Amalek, you know, at the head of it. Okay. We know who Amalek is, the people you can't talk about, the small hatters, you know, the ones who acquired the current land via the Balfour Declaration of 1948, you know, your Turkish Khazars, you know, that's who they are. That's the first of the nations, according to I believe it's Numbers 24 and 20. All right, and that first means the chief nation. All right, the chief nation, just like they are the chief nation of Edom. Judah is the chief the nation of Israel. Okay, the head tribe. Okay, the tribe from which the Lord came out of. You know, as so noted in Hebrews 7 and 14. All right. But yeah, here again, you know, he says, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Okay, that's our leadership. You know, the government. Okay. Okay. That's why there's no reparations. That's why there's no anti-hate laws. You know, for Jake. You know, we were sent here to be punished because of the transgressions of our forefather, not to be, you know, not to come here and rest. This place is not our home. You know, it tells us several times in the scriptures, we will not be at rest until we're back home in our land. Okay, and that's the land that was promised, you know, from Abraham to Isaac and to Jacob. Jacob being interchangeable with Israel, you know, our forefather of the 12 tribes. Okay, you look at a map, that land is you know, is recorded in Genesis 15, I believe, verses 18 through 21, from the great river of Egypt, which is the Nile, all the way over to the Euphrates. Okay. That's our land where we will have rest. Nowhere else. Okay? And we're very close to being returned to that land. Okay? All right? So, once again, those 3 videos that you just saw, I mean, hey, here again, you know, we have been doing the For Thy Violence Against Thy Brother Jacob series. And time again, it is coming out, you know, that the U.S. government, you know, is the real reason for the demise of Jake. Yet Jake still keeps trusting in him. Okay? Jake still keeps trusting in him. All right? And knowing our number one enemy, Amalek, is at the head of it. It's not a secret now. All right. Jake keeps trusting in him. All right. This is the book of Jeremiah. (17 and 5). And it reads, Thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart or his mind departeth from the Lord. Okay, it says cursed. We are under the curses according to Deuteronomy 28, 15 through 68. All right, but you putting your trust in your sworn enemy. Okay, Amalek, and making him your strength. He's at the head of the government, you know, the ones that you don't see. All right, according to Isaiah 29 and 15. All right, the ones with that secret council. Okay, they're the ones pulling all the strings, you know, and this group that's in that video, AIPAC, is just the front. Okay, but we know where that goes back to, you know. We know where that goes back to. Okay, it says Jeremiah 17 verse 6, For he shall be like a heath in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in a salt land, and not inhabit it. Okay? Be in a place where you will never prosper. All right? That's right here. Babylon the Great, America. Okay? And they're going to make sure that we don't prosper. Okay? That's why you have no laws in your favor. Look at what's happening with the whole immigrant situation. Coming over here getting tons of money that Jay can't get access to. You know? To buy homes and stuff. What's going on in California? All right? It's not going to happen. But you keep putting your trust in this individual. Okay? And you know, I'll go back to that Zechariah 11:5. You heard in the video from Martin Luther King Jr. Up to Cory Booker. You know, once Martin Luther King Jr. figured out, you know, he led his as he's quoted, he led his people into a burning building. You know, they took him out. You know, he was preaching all that stuff, you know, the how the Jews, Gentiles, black men and white men. Hey, dude, you know, out of those four names, you know, all of those were Israelites, whether you knew it or not. The so-called blacks of America, the Gentiles, no. According to where you pull that from in Galatians 3, you know, that was all talking about us. And we are not to, you know, lower our standards. Deuteronomy 7:6 says he has made us, let me go ahead and read it. I don't want to butcher it. Deuteronomy 7:6. It says, for thou art an holy people, a separate people, sanctified unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. All right? That was the intention for us when we made the covenant at Mount Sinai, but we broke it. Okay? And now we're at the bottom, serving our enemies in a land that's not our own, speaking a language that's not our own. Okay? And you have those leaders, like the first and foremost are our own, like him, and as you heard, Cory Booker, you know, he's another one. Okay? And you saw that clip where, you know, 89% of, you know, the Congress has dual citizenship with our enemy. Nothing's going to happen here for you, Jake. Nothing. And, you know, like I said, in our series, For Thy Violence Against Thy Brother Jacob, the government has always had a hand in our demise. And that's documented history. You can go look it up yourself. You know, we're almost up to what, 60 videos on that series on our homepage. Same playbook. Yet you keep thinking that they're going to help you, and it's not going to happen. Especially Amalek. You know, especially Amalek. We're definitely not down with that. The scriptures tell us to never trust our enemy. Yet you do. You know, they tell you not to forget, you know, what happened around World War II. Well, the Lord told us the same thing. You know, they were the first to attack us as we were exiting Egypt. Let me get that in Deuteronomy chapter 25. Starting at verse 17, and it reads, remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way, and when ye were come forth out of Egypt, how he met thee by the way and smote the hindmost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou was faint and weary, and he feared not Yahweh. Okay, look, I mean, the same punk he was then, the same one now, going after the weak of our people. He never faced, the strong, unless he knows, you're outmanned or outgunned. But this is what he did. The Lord told us to never to forget that. All right? Never to forget it. All right? Verse 19. And here again, he feared not Yahweh. All right? This Yahweh's a sworn enemy, and this guy's the head tribe of Esau Edom. Okay? He's the first of the nations, according to Numbers 24 and 20. All right? The chief nation of Esau Edom, the so-called white man, who is the wicked. All right? According to Malachi 1 and 4. All right? Deuteronomy 25, verse 19. Therefore it shall be, when Yahweh thy power hath given thee rest from all thy enemies round about, in the land which Yahweh thy power giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it. That's not here in America. Okay? He says that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven. Thou shalt not forget it. And you got a lot of dumb Jake right now. Oh, he loves everybody. No. Romans 9 and 13. Jacob I have loved, Esau I have hated. Which is quoted from Book of Malachi 1, verses 1 through 3. All right? Yep. Malachi 1 through 3. Let me just double check that. I got a lot of precepts on my mind right now. Malachi 1. Yeah, 1 and 2. Malachi 1 and 2. All right. And that's also in Romans 9 and 13. All right. Let's go back to that Deuteronomy. So he told us to never forget. All right. And the Lord also said in Exodus 17:16, that he would be at war with Amalek from generation to generation. Exodus 17:16. Yeah. And it reads, for he said, because Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai hath sworn that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Okay? Who do you go to war with? Your enemies. All right? Amalek is our enemy. That woman said that in that video, Judith Varney Shore. That Israeli council, top government official, said the number one problem for the state of Israel is the young black youth of America. Okay? But yet, in the following video, more recent video, you got Cory Booker sitting there with them. She's tied into those people. They're the same people. Trying to figure out what we're doing. How are we the number one problem for them all the way over here with no military? You're fighting right now against Yemen, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, okay? Russia, okay? We're way over here, disjointed, Jake isn't coming together, this, again, this place is for our punishment. But yet you say that we're the number one problem. Okay? And then you got Cory Booker over there selling you out. You know, like I said in Zechariah 11:5, he's rich. Their own shepherds pity him not. You took the bag. You know, and that's not just the government. That's a lot of these camps too that took the bag. All right, I'm focused on, you know, what was in those video clips right now, and you know, it's the government, which, you know, hey, like I said, a lot of them have dual citizenship. All right, but once again, you know, like the Lord said, Exodus 17:16, he will be at war with Amalek from generation to generation. You know, you only go to war with your enemies. All right. And what does the Lord say about his enemies? This is the book of Psalms. (139), beginning in verse 19. And it reads, "Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Depart from me, therefore, ye bloody men." And like he said, you know, in Deuteronomy 25:19, Amalek will be blotted out from under heaven. And they know this. They know who we are. That's why we're the number one problem for them. You know, beginning with the elect men that are out on the highways and byways, you know, so beginning with the apostles all on down, you know. They know we're the enemy. You know, I always like to, you know, see or hear about that clip where, you know, they pulled up on the apostles. It's like, how did you guys find this information out? You know, we spent billions to keep it away from you. Well, see, the thing is that you always thought you were responsible for that, Amalek. No, Jeremiah 17:4 said the Lord said he would discontinue us from our heritage. Even Jeremiah, roughly paraphrasing, he said he would do it. And then his scribe Baruch, you know, came right back and said, in the land of our captivities, we shall remember ourselves and think upon his name. Okay? He took it away from us. He's the only one that could give it back. Didn't have shit to do with you, Amalek. Nothing. He took it. He gave it back. And now you're in trouble. Because this testimony has reached the gates of the nobles. And we know it's us they're going to actually come after, you know. We know that. Some of us are going to be martyrs. We know that. But the minute you move, that's when the Lord is going to lift that standard. And you're going to have a real problem. A real problem. You know, you make money off of those superhero movies. You're going to about to see what superheroes are really about. All right? Point blank, period. All right? Back in Psalms 139, verse 20. For they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain. Yeah, you call yourself the chosen people. You know, we know that the name of the Lord is dreadful to the heathen. Okay? So you want to call him Hashem. That means the name. Okay? The true name of the Father is Yahweh. He exists. He to be. He is. And the name of the Son, Yahweh Shai. He saves. He delivers. It's not no Hashem. That means the name. All right? And you speak to him with your crown covered with that too little ass hat on. What we call a small hat. All right? Verse 21. Do not I hate them, O Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that hate thee? And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? Yeah. We sign and crying on the highways and byways every week in our videos all the time. Yes, we are grieved with them. Okay? We hasten the day to come up out of this captivity And we know things are close, but it's going to get rough as we get closer. Okay? It's definitely going to get rough. So that's why you brothers have to pray, that if you have this truth right now, stay repenting all the time, every day. Okay? Ask the Lord, say that prayer for him not to take his candles, take your candlestick from you. That's Psalms 51, I think verses 10 through 13. Okay. Yes, we agree with them that rise up against you. We are your inheritance. Okay. We were created in your image. And as one of I believe hopeful elect. I can't believe anything else. That's how I keep my faith built up. You have to do that in this day and time. Especially if you stand true to this truth. You have to believe that. That's that faith builder. See yourself riding on that chariot. It's going to be scary, but you gotta believe that. But you have to walk that straight gate. Turn neither to the left nor to the right. Okay. You have to stay on the straight gate. This is not a joke, because they're about to come down real hard on Jake. We already know that. Okay? Very hard. So we have to, do our due diligence to make the calling of our election sure. Keep that faith built up. Keep doing the work. Keep those laws, statutes, and commandments near and dear. Baruch 4:1 says, if you roughly paraphrase them, if you keep it, you're going to live. If you don't, you're going to die. Just that simple. Okay? The law endureth forever. We have to do our very best in this captivity to keep it. And the Lord sees everything. He knows the heart and the mind that he gave you. Okay? Just keep praying. Just keep praying. Stand diligent. All right? Verse 22, Psalms 139. I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. And, this makes me think of this old video I think I saw maybe about three years ago, maybe 2, that beloved Elder Apostle Gabar did, and I believe it had something to do with the Rothschilds, but he was reading, I believe, from some interview or some. If a brother knows what it is, please put it in the comments, because I can't remember. But it was something to the effect that the Rothschilds knew. They were quoted as saying, or it was the Rockefellers, I can't remember, that was quoted as saying, we know God hates us and we hate God. All right? So that's that enemy right here. Yeah, I wish I had it, but I did have a folder, and when YouTube changed their policy, your playlists became part of your content, and that playlist was public. And I think from the time I'd start watching GMS before I became part of the account, at that point I had like close to 2,500 videos. Well, they snatched the whole playlist down, and that's where it was. Didn't tell me what video it was. They snatched the whole thing down. So I didn't have it, but I do remember him saying that. All right. But yeah, as you can see, you have these people, and then what do they do? once they realized that we had the sympathy of the people they're destroying today, you know, they pulled away a fundraiser. All right. What's that? That's what Jake needs to get in these scriptures. That's Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 13. And let me see. I think around 4 or 5. No, not that one. Let me see here. Oh yeah, verse 6. It says, if he have need of thee, he will deceive thee and smile upon thee and put thee in hope. And he will speak fair and say, what wantest thou? You know, everything was cool. You know, they were trying to, like they said, cultivate a new wave of leadership. But when they saw that they got the sympathy from the people that they're fighting in the land, you know, you know, they canceled that thing. And no, it was a place called Feinstein, okay, another Amalekite, okay. They canceled it. Like, what? Who are you? You know, no, that's okay. And then had the nerve to say that, you know, a king will be turning over in his grave, seeing how they turned their back against the state of it, which goes to tell you, you know, he was working with them too. Okay. Guy was writing a speech. He was working with them too. And it's just, you know, and here's the thing, you know, that's even with a fellow Jake, you know, hey, you can't be putting your trust in him. Your trust belongs with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. All right. These from day one, from the time we were exiting Egypt, this battle is continuous. And I read it in Exodus 17 and 16. You know, he will be at war with Amalek from generation to generation. Okay. That's for his people. The nation, the true nation of Israel, the 12 tribes. All right. But here again, you know, you, Jakes, and the government that's, you know, going against us, for them, you know, there's going to be a price to pay for that. You know, the Jakes like Booker, you know, no, it's not going to happen. You know, at least not to the elect, and we already know that. So, you know, you may have a role with it. I was reading some of the comments on that video. Yeah, they definitely got the 2/3 because the 2/3 is trusting in them. Okay, but here again, you know, you took the bag. All right, and there's a price for that. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 13, verse 1, and it reads, he that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith, and he that fellowship with a proud man shall be like unto him. All right. So, and that pitch goes into tar. You know, you get tar on you, you know, chances are it's going to be very difficult to get off. All right. And if you do, you know, it's going to take some skin with it. You know, that's, you go back to that whole tar and feathering thing. Okay. There was a purpose behind that. All right. To tear you apart. All right. And it says, and he that fellowship with a proud man shall be like unto him. And who's the proud man? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, led by Amalek. All right. It says, you shall be like unto him. Well, the Lord said, you know, hey, if you're going to be like unto him, just like he's going to destroy him, Esau, Edom, he's going to destroy you. All right. This is Isaiah 13. and I believe 12. No, not 12. 15. Slakia. And it reads, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Okay? That sword is going to come in the form of plagues, pestilences, famines, okay, earthquakes, spirits of vengeance. Okay? Sword is, just named for a killing instrument. Okay? But the main killing instrument is going to be those ICBM missiles, along with the concentrated laser beams from the chariots. All right? So, yeah, there'll be a price to pay for bringing harm to the Lord's people, especially not knowing who the elect is. All right? So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying for the elect body of the nation of Israel. Once again, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and my fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also, salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, I say Shalom, Kwam Yasharala. We got next. And once again, Amalek, you will be blotted out from under heaven. Shalom.